Well, hello there folks, thanks for clicking on the video. Joining me on an absolute beautiful day just out the doors camp. So the plan of attack for the next couple of days, the camp that was actually destroyed with the storm, or blown over with the storm, I'm going to be trying to rebuild it over the next couple of days. We'll be honest, wasn't expecting this much snow though. But absolutely love the Lavvu, so I thought I'd get the Lavvu out, give it a wee bash. So I've got the wood burning stove as well, so I'm going to get that in there, just so I've actually got a bit of warmth for tonight. Only slight little issue is trying to find a little bit of flat ground. So where I actually am just now, there are trees directly above me, none of them sort of widow makers, it's all sort of like branches. Only thing is, as soon as you get the wood burning stove on, it's going to melt that snow and the actual things, and you're going to get a lot of dripping during the actual night, etc. But beautiful, beautiful day. Meant to be sort of snowing pretty much all the day as well, so it should be a little bit of a challenge with the video, etc. as well, but hopefully we'll be fine. So it's the Outbacker Firebox stove that I actually use myself. I've used it for a few years now, absolutely love it. Heavy, but from the point of view of quality, and also I tend to find the chimney and all that thing's nice and easy to set up. A little bit different for the Lavvu, it's actually a little bit closer to the actual the wood burner itself. So I'll show you what I've actually got for that as well. So I've actually got a sleeve, a teepee sleeve that actually goes in. So I'm just going to get this set up just now. Once I've got it a little bit more built up and all the actual the chimney out, I'll hook up with you. So this is the bit that I've got that just fits over the top. I just go through the sleeve of the Lavvu itself, just to actually protect the canvas. So again, I'll adjust it slightly. Okay, so that's me get everything split up. So I've got all the wood that I actually had just in an actual pile, and as much of the moss that I can actually sort of collect again in another pile there. So I think I have seen one actual sort of main beam up into the actual forest. So we'll go and grab that just now and get that back here. But I think we'll start the actual build itself tomorrow, because as I said, it is just getting very, very dark just now. I sort of had to play around with the camera. So I'll probably get some food on, but at least I can sort of quantify how much wood I've actually got and how much I actually need to get, because as I said, just with it being longer, I definitely am going to need probably some extra wood. I'm hoping to maybe just leave the actual start of the A-frame, or the peak of the A-frame, probably the same sort of height as it was before, so the two main bits of actual wood should still be okay. So as I said, we'll go off up and get the actual main beam just now. Yeah, that should be perfect. About that sort of height. Yeah, fantastic. Right, again, losing a bit of light, so going to get some food on, I think. Right, unfortunately the snow doesn't look as if it's going to stop, so I'm going to have to just crack on and actually get some food on, and I do realise it is a little bit in the dark side, so I do apologise. Now, the one thing I was meant to do before I left was my daughter was going to teach me how to cut onions, but I forgot. So I'm going to do it my way, which I know is an absolute pig's ear, but it ends up with the same result. And I'm also using the Wild Camping International's new stove, the wee titanium stove, so super excited about it. Give it a wee try. I'm just going to be doing burgers. Keep it nice and simple. In the bag. Bring back the same result. Right, not sure how well you can see me, but let's see how this is. Oh, yummy. And cooked all the way through as well, which is half a bonus. Okay, I'm just going to finish these and then I'll catch up with you. Well, what can I say? I've ended up having to actually open up the front of the Lavvu. It was just so warm in here. But it's lovely, really, really nice. So the thing is with this type of trip, it's 5 o'clock at night and it's pitch black outside, so there's not much videoing you can actually do. So I'm sort of going to hunker down a little bit, and if there is anything, I'll hook up with you during the actual night. But the one thing I was wanting to sort of have a wee chat with you about, I was sort of saying before that I was going to be doing some summit camping, and it's more just to sort of find out whether it's something you would be interested in actually seeing. I'm going to put a couple of wee clips on there just now, just of actual one of the trips I've just done. It's absolutely stunning, really, really good. But as I said, it's more just whether you would be interested in actually seeing it. So if you can just pop a wee comment below, just with a yes or a no, it'd be very much appreciated. Okay, so I will see you in the morning. Well, good morning. I'd love to say that was a brilliant sleep, but not quite so. Not cold at all during the actual night. Warmth-wise was absolutely fine. But it's more just, you can actually probably see a lot of the snow's actually melted, and it was just sort of dripping on the actual Lavvu all night, so it was quite noisy in there. But it was so comfy. It really is so comfy. I'm going to show you around inside the actual Lavvu in a wee bit, but to start off with, I'm going to get the stove on. So even by my standards, last night's burgers were a bit of a disaster from the point of view of cooking, but it was one of those things where over the last wee while it's been sort of getting dark about 4:15. It was basically 3:15, it just got really dark. So I ended up sort of really rushing, so don't judge me. But today, trying something a little bit different. A friend of mine sort of introduced me to vegetarian bacon, and absolutely love it, really nice. So I'm going to give that a wee try today, just for a bit of breakfast. Now I want to get onto work as quick as possible, so I want to try and get the shelter done today. So I am going to get cracking with it reasonably soon. So as soon as I've had breakfast, it's going to be a case of straight down to the actual shelter and get the work started. But I said, just hungry. Burgers tasted okay. So we'll see where this goes. So last night, I mean, I said it went down to -4. I think was the lowest temperature I actually saw. Didn't get much, as I said, in the way of sleep. Sleeping bag wise, it was the Rabascent 700 again, but I didn't use the sleeping bag liner this time. So I was inside the actual Gore-Tex bivvy, perfectly warm enough. Feet got a little bit cold towards the actual sort of like 3-4 in the morning sort of idea. So double pairs of socks is probably the plan for the next trip. So we'll see how we go. Lots and lots of exciting trips planned over the next wee while, which I'll show you a wee bit about later on. But as I said, I'm just going to sit here, chill out a little bit, have some breakfast. I'm going to get the coffee percolator on. I'm getting an open fire done down at the actual shelter itself. So get a chance to actually have an open fire for once. It'll be really nice. So looking forward to it. Okay, so just going to cook this up. You don't really have to cook these all that much, that'll basically be them done. Absolutely loving the pan though. So this is, as I said, the new Wild Camping International pan. Absolutely fantastic, so light. I'll put a wee link to it in the description below. It's really good. The taste that they actually have on them is just phenomenal. Really, really nice. So I've not tried that particular brand before, but that's the corn vegetarian bacon. We also had like vegan chocolate and all that sort of stuff as well. It was really, really nice. So definitely worth giving it a wee try. So as I said, just going to finish this and I'll be back with you. So you can just actually see how much snow in comparison to yesterday when I was actually videoing, how much of the actual snow itself is actually gone. So all the trees and all that sort of things were just absolutely covered in snow last night, but just a combination of sort of a little bit higher temperature, although it didn't feel it, and then the lights of the high wind, etc. That's what sort of took it away. So what I'll do just now is I'll just show you the actual Lavvu itself and just the sort of setup that I've actually got with it. Because I said, really smart, I really like it. Just so simple. A bit weighty obviously carrying it in comparison to like to the One Tigris iron wall tent. But I just absolutely love the Lavvu, and it holds its heat so well, obviously with it being canvas. So I'll show you it just now. So basically I've got the Outbacker Firebox stove is my actual my stove itself, and then I've got the stove jack just there, which just sort of protects the actual canvas. I mean, that was on full blast last night, no markings whatsoever. And this was basically a pre-cut stick that I'd actually had before from a previous trip, so again I just actually put it aside. And then I've got all my gear on the back left hand side, and then I've got my sleeping bag down on the right. And as I said, I've got underneath the sleeping bag itself, I've got a German wool blanket, which just sort of gives me a bit of extra warmth. I woke up this morning to quite a lot of ice around the actual edges, but I've cleared all that off. But as I said, I just like the simplicity of it. So again, it's sort of one of these things. I really do like the One Tigris iron wall tent as well, but the Lavvu is just a bit more traditional, and again I just do like sort of canvas, etc. Yeah, and we need to get some shelter building, sort of get that done. Main thing I want to do is actually get hopefully the A-frame up and also all the wood on, as much moss on as possible, but I might have to come back when there's not quite so much snow to actually get more moss. But we'll head down to the actual shelter just now. So I said, I'm not that far from the actual shelter, so it is just a nice wee spot just for actual camping, and I said whether it's in whatever shelter possible, but it's really, really nice. One of the other things I'm actually looking for is the likes of a V, and I'll show you why, because basically I think one of the reasons why the actual shelter collapsed with the high wind was it wasn't anchored at the bottom, and I'll show you what I mean when I'm actually putting it up. So I'll need to go for a little wander around, try and see if I can find an anchor for it. And the anchor basically just holds it in position so it can't go forward or backwards. And what I've done this morning, just while all the devices were charging, was I sort of laid out all the actual sticks just so I can actually visually see size-wise what I'm actually needing. But you can just see how much how much less snow there is today than there was yesterday at camp. It's brilliant. And as I said, just such a lovely surrounding. Okay, so let's get cracking. So I've decided I can't function until I've had a coffee. An absolute must when you're away camping. So I've actually started grinding my own coffee. I've been doing it for a wee while now, but it's absolutely lovely. Very, very relaxing. And certainly when you're out here just looking around and seeing the views and all that sort of things, the wildlife just going around its daily chores. It's brilliant. And it'll be nice actually having an open fire here. Sort of keep me warm so if I do start getting cold. But with working away, building the shelter, I shouldn't get cold at all. The temperature today is actually, it's not too bad. It's what, 2 degrees Celsius. I'll put what that is down in Fahrenheit in the corner. So it's not actually that cold at all. Instead of sitting here watching me do this whole thing, but it's great because you can actually see how much you've actually ground already. I'll hook up with you just when I'm getting the fire started. I've managed to find that V that I was talking about. And as I said, I just hope the wood's not too sort of damaged for it to actually work okay. I promise it will all make sense in a wee second. Right, let's take it back to camp and get it prepped. Yeah, so one of the reasons why I think the shelter fell over was momentum. I think it sort of fell that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create just a bit that's going to hold it in place. So it seems to be never ending. My big chair, my bushcraft chair just broke as well. So yesterday when I put up the wee chair with the canvas bit, when I actually sat in it, one of the legs actually snapped. So I'm going to have a look at the video footage. I may very well put it in just for you to have a wee laugh. But one of the legs has just snapped at the base there just now. So it's still sat up there, but that's another job I now need to do as well. So another video opportunity for us. So I'm just going to have my coffee and then get cracking. But I just want to say all the best for 2022. Hopefully you've all had a brilliant new year and a great 2021. And hopefully you've all got good plans for 2022 involving a lot of fun. Certainly I have, and hopefully you'll join along in the actual channel and sort of see some of the things I'm planning. Again, as I was sort of saying last night though, we comment as to whether you're interested in the summit camping stuff, because hopefully I'm going to be doing quite a lot of that as well. So I'm going to be doing that possibly alternate weeks. So I'll still be doing plenty of bushcraft videos and wild camping videos, but it was just to see whether you were interested in it. Okay, so just going to finish this off and then get cracking with the actual shelter itself. Time wise, running shorter time again. To be perfectly honest, yesterday caught me out a little bit by sort of getting dark at 3:15, you know, when it's normally sort of like 4:15. So there may very well be a situation where I've got like an hour and a half worth of actual building to be done it's because I've got so much gear to actually take back to the actual van itself, and the actual road down's a little bit on the slippy side, so I'm going to have to be very, very careful. So I want to do it in the light as opposed to the dark. So we'll see how we go, but I'm just going to finish this, get as much building done as I possibly can, and then I'll hook up with you. So I have to say, I'm well pleased with that. A lot deeper than it was the last time, which was really one of the main things that I was wanting to sort of make sure I had at this camp, so I couldn't actually sleep out at this one. Because I said traditionally before, it's just that little bit on the short side. When I got eaten alive by midges, I don't know if anyone remembers that video. But what I'll do is I'll show you it just now. Chances are I'm not going to put the moss on just now, just with the fact that it's almost 2:30. I'm already losing light, so I really do want to try and get everything back to the van as quickly as I possibly can. But that's it, I'll give you a wee guided tour. So basically there she is. And I've actually managed to get away with the same amount of sticks that I actually had before, because I'd actually taken a few sticks back over the last wee while, which I was actually planning on using for firewood. So I've actually managed to use them. So again, as you can see, plenty of room for me to actually lie in and sleep. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the wet wood that I've actually got there, or the wood, I'm just going to put it in there, and hopefully next time I'm out of camp I can sort of dry it off. Well, that's me folks, all packed up. Leave no trace apart from a big circle where the actual Lavvu was, where the snow was melted. But an absolutely thoroughly enjoyable trip. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. And it's great having that shelter sort of there again, and also being able to sleep in it. So it means I can actually come out and do some more cooking and things like that out at that particular spot. So super happy. So thanks very much for watching if you've watched all the way through. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care then, bye bye.